It was the game of the year. Hyperbole was thrown around such a Super Bowl preview, a matchup of the top 10 candidates, and the best gift to unwrap to end your Christmas festivities. At the end, Ravens flock stand up. They went out to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara and put the boots to asses of the San Francisco 49ers, moved to 12-3, and can clinch home field advantage this coming week at home at the bank as they welcome the Miami Dolphins. They handle business out in 49er country and now have the best record in the NFL. What better way to end your Christmas and start the day after Christmas? We ain't taking back no gifts here. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show. If you're in the comments section now, you're in this chat, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. Sound off, Ravens flock. You just beat the number one team in the NFC. You have the odds-on favorite for MVP. We're going to talk all about it. If you want to donate, hit that Cash App as well. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, official Baltimore Ravens postgame show. Merry Christmas as the Flex Zone takes you to nothing but holiday bliss and Ravens excitement. More exciting than jolly old Saint Nick coming down your chimney. It's the official Flex Zone Podcast, Baltimore Ravens postgame show. Fellas, only place give me sports how you want it.
When you
When
need
you
it.
need it.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, everybody watching, and Happy Festivus because the Ravens will be in Festivus real soon. The Baltimore Ravens go out to San Francisco, dominate the 49ers in a matchup of the top teams in the AFC and NFC, 33-19. Lamar Jackson puts on an MVP performance, outduels Brock Purdy, leads his team to victory, and the Ravens are now one win away this coming week from clinching home field advantage in the AFC throughout the playoffs. I got my crew with me. I got my gang with me. No Flex Zone official episode tonight, but we're still here on your Mondays. Funny how that works. And this game was much anticipated. And you already know the man himself, Big Raj. He said, I'm not staying home for this. I'm going to be a man of the people. I'm out and about. And you already know what time it is. It may be Christmas, but it's always time for this, Big Raj.
No bread, no water, just
meat.
Finish him, Daddy.
That's exactly what the Ravens did today. They finished them. And my goodness, man, I did not expect this kind of ass whooping from the Ravens. But I'm very happy to see that they got the win. Can't wait to talk about it with my boys. It's midnight, so let's get it cracking.
Last but not least, the Flex Zone Messiah, the Dean of Balsall Hall University, the Lamar Jackson #1 agent. It is the co-founder of the Flex Zone Podcast, my boy, Mr. 25A, always working hard but giving time to the Flex Zone when we need him. And if you know he's on the post-game show, it is truly a main event spectacle. My boy, Drizzy Dre, the one, the only, pride of the East Side savior, misbehavior. Dre, I know you feeling good, brother.
Oh, yes, indeed. What's good, America? This is a great day. Great Christmas present from our Baltimore Ravens.
Dre, I couldn't have said it better myself. What better way to end your Christmas? Oh, let me get your shirt. There you go, brother. I see you rocking the gear. What better way to end Christmas and start the day after Christmas? As I mentioned, we ain't taking back no gifts here, but the Ravens are the gift that keeps on giving. Dre, I'm gonna start with you, man. Just how are you feeling after this game? 33-19 victory. And the Ravens really dominated from after that safety in the first quarter. They kind of dominated most of the game.
Man, I mean, I'm feeling great, man. This was, before we even got on live, I was saying how everybody was pretty much picking the 49ers except you, Byron. So shout out to you for picking the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. Some of the numbers that have been thrown out too are really, really impressive. Of course, Lamar Jackson continues his winning ways against the NFC. Shocking. I didn't know that the only team that Lamar had lost to was the Giants last year. But 20-1, Lamar Jackson against NFC opponents. Like you said, I mean, a lot of people were thinking that this was a Super Bowl preview between the two teams. They said this was the highest ever point differential for two teams entering a Monday Night Football game at 350 between the two teams. And you saw what happened out there. The Baltimore Ravens came out. We gave Brock Purdy a career high with 4 interceptions, and the Ravens were able to capitalize on it, especially those 2 turnovers. I think within the third quarter, Raj really opened up things and really put that game away because it was still kind of close. It was 16-12 at halftime, but then you see the turnover happen. Kyle Hamilton, hopefully his injury isn't severe, but to have yes, Daryl. I think Lamar has put himself as the odds-on favorite, and then if he wins next week as another spectacular performance, I think he's got it in the bag at that point, no matter what happens with the Steelers. Lamar Jackson had an MVP caliber performance. The Baltimore Ravens totality, we played really, really great. But like Lamar said in his post game, it was really the defense. Not just tonight, but the defense all year. Really, really impressive. Kyle Hamilton, like I said, hopefully he doesn't have a severe injury. But he had 2 interceptions. The Ravens had 4 takeaways from the San Francisco 49ers today. They were all over it, and it was kind of scary at first because how the game originally opened up. You saw the middle of the field was really, really open. George Kittle was making some really great plays, so I thought that this might be a long day for the Baltimore Ravens, but they ended up actually being able to stop them with the interception, and that I think that kind of like you could see that Brock Purdy was kind of like unrattled, and then after that you could see that Lamar, they start settling in because they were like 3-and-out. They weren't really getting any much really positive yards against the San Francisco 49ers. But then you see that once the offense settled in, Zay Flowers, man, I mean, he continues to show that not only as a rookie, but he's stamping his foot on this offense, showing that he is the #1 wide receiver. Though we do have Odell Beckham Jr. And Bateman, this offense is running through Zay Flowers right now, and what he was able to do. I do wish that we were able to run the football a little bit more within this game, but I saw that the passing game was opened up, and you can see now that the Ravens are a dynamic offense instead of just a running attack. But overall, I'm very happy with the Baltimore Ravens. But I mean, I'm not going to say Super Bowl yet. I'm going to say next game we got to see against the Dolphins, because we remember what happened last year when the Dolphins, we thought it was over in the fourth quarter, and then the Dolphins ended up coming back. So we're going to take it one game at a time. But I think that, like I said, right now, this shows that Lamar is the front runner for MVP, and it shows that the Baltimore Ravens are a legit Super Bowl contending team, especially with the dominant performance they had against the San Francisco 49ers.
Raj, how you feeling, brother? You were out amongst the people. You were with some people who are notable Ravens fans and voices on sports radio that we listen to. And just yourself, man. I know you were a little down going into this game. But as I always tell you, Raj, it's going to be all right because the Ravens do their best work and their backs are against the wall.
Yeah, man. I knew it was going to come to play. Let's not get it twisted. I knew this team was going to come to play. I just thought they was going to, I thought it was going to probably lose at the end. I didn't pick them to win this game. But I definitely did not disrespect them like a lot of people throughout the media did. The Mike Florios and the Emmanuel Achos and the Shannon Sharps of the world. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go that far with it, but I am very happy that this team won today. Shout out to the defense. Kyle Hamilton, my goodness, man. He had another great game before he got hurt. 2 interceptions, a lot of key tackles. He is the de facto best player in the backfield of the Baltimore Ravens. But they came to play. They played extremely hard. They made Brock Purdy look like a rookie.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft last year. And it was just a great thing to watch, honestly. But yeah, I think Lamar Jackson, as Duro would say, has solidified his place as an MVP in the league. He's very consistent. He's very efficient. He knows how to run this offense now. We all thought going into this year that we didn't know what to really expect from Monken's offense. But I think now he's really starting to feel his way through it, and he's making some of the right plays as far as the key plays at key times. So that's a great thing. Mike McDonald, he might be gone by the end of the year, man. The way he's coaching his defense, it is beautiful. It really is, and he's doing a hell of a job back there. So shout out to him as well. But yeah, man, they really showed me something today. It was like y'all said, it was close at halftime. We were going back and forth just a little bit, and then as soon as that third quarter hit, it's just like the lights turned on for the defense and offense at the same time. And but before you could blink, it was 30-12. So this team, man, they can go as far as they want to go, as long as they have that drive to be the best team on the field. We already know what they can do as far as here, because we watch them every week. But a lot of the national media, they don't pay us no mind. They don't really fear us at all. They disrespect us a lot. And it's just funny, man, because in the off season, Lamar Jackson was, the talk of the town. A lot of teams passed up on him. The Atlantas of the world, the Washington Commanders of the world. They didn't want him. They was like, oh, we don't need him. He can't really do anything. So now he might be the MVP again. This is insane. This is insanity. So I'm very happy, man. This is a great victory tonight. We will be number one on a lot of people's lists going into tomorrow.
Here
if you know what I mean.
Hold on,
yeah.
hold on. He brought up the list. I was going to bring it up when he got done, but this list makes Raj feel like this when it's Christmas Eve.
Go ahead and do it, Raj.
Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard?
Oh yes.
Go
That
ahead and do
makes
it, Raj.
my nipples hard. You're damn right. I love Stephen A. Smith's list. So it is a great list. We will be number one because we dethroned the 49ers, and we'll be sitting out on top of the mountain. We will be licked and all kinds of stuff tomorrow. Everybody's going to be like, oh my God, the Baltimore Ravens, they are the best team in football. Because we are the best team in football, damn it. And we proved it tonight. So I'm very happy that this is going to happen. This is a beautiful thing. Hopefully Kyle Hamilton is okay, because we need him for next Sunday. We definitely need him. But the momentum is very high right now. This team is playing their asses off. And this is just a great day. The day was a great day. Great Christmas. If you didn't get nothing for Christmas and you're a Ravens fan, this is the best Christmas gift you could have got.
I was waiting for Raj to do it.
Good point.
I was waiting for Raj to be like, what? The list is fluid.
Oh, the list is fluid? The list is fluid. It's fluid.
That's your favorite thing to say.
But you know what though?
You know what else, week, ladies and gentlemen, we get a text.
You know what else was fluid today? That damn Zay Flowers celebration when he was like,
oh, the Grinch, the Grinch.
No, that joke was hilarious, man. I was literally in tears at the restaurant, man. That joke was hilarious, man. But yeah, man, they whipped their ass tonight. They literally just kicked the crap out of them. So it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
It is beautiful. Merry Christmas to everybody. If you're in the chat, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. We're here after every Ravens game. We break it all down. We do a preview each and every week. And of course, we do the flagship podcast also. Dre.
No, you ain't do it.
No, okay.
You trying to do your Cravante when you do it like that, and the thumbs go up.
No. For some reason, it's not doing it today.
No, not for you. Not for you. Nope.
Speaking of injuries, we did see Kevin Zeitler and Patrick McCarry also go out with injuries. Zyler with a thigh, McCarthy with a head injury, and Kyle Hamilton with his knee. He was already playing hurt, but you couldn't tell watching him play. So hopefully those guys do get better. As you guys mentioned, that third quarter, he threw 2 touchdown passes, Lamar Jackson, in the span of 18 seconds. Looking at the offense, we'll start there because they put up 33 points. I mean, hey, can't knock that. 23 of 35, 252, 2 touchdowns, and I think a key, he was only sacked twice, 7 carries, 45 yards. Edwards, 9 for 31, Hill, 10 for 26. As you guys mentioned, Zay Flowers came and did his thing last week after only 1 catch, 9 for 72 with the touchdown. Likely 3 for 56. Hill 3 for 31, Beckham 2 for 13, Aguilar 3 for 10 with a touchdown, and Bateman 1 for 14. Dre, your thoughts on the offense today? I mean, Lamar obviously did his thing.
Like I said, I was very, very happy with the offense, especially the passing game. I think that this game, like I said, I wish that they would have ran the football a little bit more, but the passing game, I was very happy with it. Shout out to the offensive line. This has been an offensive line that's really protected Lamar Jackson. We've talked about it so many times prior to this season, saying, can this offensive line just hold up? Can they protect Lamar? He seems to be rushed in the pocket, but he had plenty of time today and throughout the season for the most part. He's had plenty of time to be able to throw the football, be able to go through the progressions of his reads and go in from his first option to his second option to the third option, sometimes even to the fourth option, back to the first option and being able to throw that football. You see that people are like Zay Flowers, Odell are just making their way so that way they can go ahead and get open. I mean, we did have one game with the drops. I think it was the Colts game, or maybe it was the Steelers game, but excuse me, you see that this team is getting better and better with catching the football, making opportunities, making something out of nothing. Like we saw last week when the sack in the Jaguars game, where the sack is coming and Lamar is able to dunk and then throw it up to Likely. You see that the receivers are just as aggressive as the defense when you see that Odell Beckham Jr. Has been able to go ahead and get those pass interference calls. And then you see today, Likely, a pass interference call, opening it up, and then the Ravens being able to score their first touchdown, being able to get to the goal line. And the commentators were talking about how when the 49ers are in the goal line territory, that usually the 49ers are the ones being able to score. Today it was about the Baltimore Ravens. Once we got down there, I think it was 7 straight drives where we were able to score. So our offense was really able to do their thing and capitalizing off of the mistakes of the 49ers offense from and our defense, and then opening it up, giving it back to our offense, and just playing a complete game on all 3 phases of the football. So, like I said, I'm very happy with the Baltimore Ravens. Like I said, I kind of wish that they would have been able to run the football a little more, just because last week we had an injury, and I just wanted to see a little bit more out of Just Hill, Gus Edwards, and to see if Melvin Gordon could get there. Get that thing flowing, because we're going to need to be able to run the football when it comes to the playoffs.
Go ahead, Raj. Your thoughts on the offense?
Outside of Lamar Jackson getting that safety, which wasn't really all of his fault. I mean, it was his fault, but it wasn't all of his fault.
That should have been. I think that was a bad call, Raj. I think that should have just been maybe a down, but not a safety.
I mean, yeah, but he was in the end zone, so
he was, but he tripped over the referee. I totally didn't like that call. I understood it, but I think that with him tripping over the referee, I think that they should have just maybe put an intentional ground in it. Maybe you put it at the 1 and then let it go from there. But don't have them have a safety when it was kind of like the referee. If it wasn't for the referee, he might have been able to get back to maybe the 1 or the 2, or maybe just been out of bounds at that point.
To be fair though, the referees were actually pretty good tonight. They didn't make a lot of stupid calls. They didn't, they was actually pretty fair. So, like I said, other than that, Lamar Jackson played a great game. I thought he made a lot of great throws. Yes, there were some drops. Yes, Bateman dropped the ball, Brian. Keep saying shit Bateman out of there. I see your comment. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I thought they played a really good game. The running, I mean, I wanted to see what Justice Hill can do because we haven't seen him for a good while outside of I can't remember the last time we saw him actually, make an impact. But tonight was a good Justice Hill a good Justice Hill night. No fumbles. He made a lot of positive plays. He helped Gus Edwards get the ball, and he did his thing as well. So you want to see the running backs, get positive yardage, and get first downs, and exactly what they did. So shout out to those two. Lamar Jackson, with his legs, made one of those plays again, where the defender's like, "How do you do these things?" Lamar just finds ways to do things that other people cannot. But he made a lot of good throws. A lot, like I said before, a lot of drops from Zay and Bateman. But when it came down to third down, he made a lot of good third downs as well. I think they only punted the ball, I think, at least one time tonight. So offensively, they were very productive at moving the football. Likely had another great play. Odell made a couple key third down plays as well, and yeah, man, they was just giving the 49ers the blues. But Brock Purdy, man, I don't know what it was tonight. I don't know if he was scared of the moment, or he was trying to get the ball out too quickly. But I thought his game, whatever their game plan was, it was awful. Because at first, when they first started the game off, they was giving the ball to George Kittle. So I think he had like at least 91 yards in the first quarter. I'm like, why would you go away from him when he's actually destroying the Ravens right now? They go away from him, and Christian McCaffrey gets the ball every now and again. He ends up with 100 yards. You could have gave him more carries. I don't understand that either. And then Brandon Ayuk, you wait to the end of the game to get him involved. And he was destroying the Ravens in the fourth quarter. It's just like they were very not in sync at all with their offense. Now had they got Brandon Ayuk involved and kept going to Kittle, and every now and again sprinkle a little Deebo Samuel in there, maybe this be a different outcome, a different game. But they was not in sync the whole game, and he was just throwing it up for the Ravens to pick him off, and he looked like like I said, Mr. Irrelevant. So yeah, man, the Ravens took advantage of what they supposed to take advantage of, and they did what they had to do, man, out in the road. And this has been a recipe for success for the Ravens this entire season. Every time they have a big road game, they get it done. So shout out to them, man, on the offense side.
Let's get to the defense, fellas. Defense did what they have done all year. Like Dre said, they've been dominant. Both defenses were damn good going. Yes, Brian, we see you. You know you want to be not in. Shout out to Brian. Kyle Hamilton with 2 picks. Marcus Williams with a pick. Patrick Queen with a pick. And Marlon Humphrey with a pick. Roquan Smith, 8 tackles. Marcus Williams. Patrick Queen with 7 tackles. Brandon Stevens. Boy, how good has Brandon Stevens been? 5 tackles. Matabike with 4. We had Clowney with the sack. Van Noy with the sack. Brent Urban with 2 sacks. And even Marcus Williams. No, not Marcus Williams, excuse me. Kyle Van Noy had 1. Brent Urban had 2. And Clowney had 1. So 4 sacks for the Ravens. And they did it against a really good offensive line, Raj. But this defense, man, they're holding up, especially on the back end, which I thought was the weakness. Brandon Stevens might be our best corner. Kyle Hamilton might be all-pro. And Marlon Humphrey, after that bad game a few weeks ago against who did he have a bad game against? Slipping my mind, but he's balling up.
Yeah, man, the defense did the thing tonight, man. They settled down, made the adjustments they needed to make, especially after they drove the field in the first drive down the field. Kyle Hamilton saw where he was going with the football, picked it off, and then ever since then they were rolling, man. And they this defense, man, they are definitely a great defense right now. I can't believe I'm saying that because we haven't seen this type of defense in a very, very long time. So tonight they got a lot of sacks, a lot of picks, 5 interceptions. I think like 5 or 6 sacks, I believe. So they did their thing, man. Marcus Williams had a sack, which was great to see. Kyle Hamilton had 2. Brandon Stevens had a couple plays where he was able to hold down Brandon Ayuk and I'm sorry, Debo Samuel, because I think he was on Debo Samuel tonight. Um, but yeah, man, it was definitely eye watching to see that defense play as great of a game as they played this entire season. This might be the best they played the entire season as far as defense. So yeah, man, they're clicking on all cylinders, man. They're in sync. And like I told you before, man, when Roquan came here, I understand last season they gave up some stuff when he was on the field. But after having an off season, studying film with Ray Lewis in the off season, and being the leader that he was chosen to be for this team, and also Kyle Hamilton coming of age and getting better and better, it just shows you, man, that the Ravens are that best team in the NFL right now. It really does, because when push comes to shove, they know exactly what to do, and it was just a beautiful thing to see, man. It really was. So I get it, and I'm very happy for the Ravens. Oh, and of course, here we go, Brian again. People say Bateman ain't hungry. He is hungry.
And that was
What is
Marlon
he? What is he?
against the Rams.
Ryback or
Marlon.
something?
I don't know
Come
what
on.
he is. He's just being
Um,
goofy.
he made Chris made a comment about the Eagles and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I'm not though both teams won, I'm not ready to say that quite yet. Our defense, like you said, really playing lights out right now. Though they don't really have some of the household names, like we're accustomed to, like the Ray Lewis's, the Ed Reeds, the um, Terrell Suggs of the world. We snapped the 49ers had a 6-game winning streak, which was the longest active currently up until tonight in the NFL. And then also another thing that we were able to do defensively, they said Brock Purdy was entering at 7-0 on till tonight. No touchdown passes, 4 interceptions, and this was against teams um, with a winning record. So right now, this Ravens team, I mean, like you guys were saying, so disrespected. People were saying that this would either be a close game or that they would just get blown out, and that didn't happen. The Ravens are the ones who end up blowing the 49ers out, and we made a statement. I think the Ravens heard all of this. That gave them bulletin board material, and they were able to show that, hey, we listen to what's going on the outside, but we know in this locker room that if we do our thing, we can beat any team. And I think that right now, like I said, I want to say one game at a time. I don't want to say, hey, they're going to the Super Bowl and lock it in. But I do want to say that this was a statement game, and to let people know that, hey, the Ravens are definitely a Super Bowl contending team. And we talk so much about Cleveland's defense, but our defense, my gosh, some of the people, Queen, we talked about Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphreys. Shout out to him, and then also to Davian Clowney. This is a guy who I've been wanting on the Baltimore Ravens for a while. I was like, either get Clowney or get Sue, so that way we can have a pass rusher. But in Clowney, he may not have the gaudy numbers to show that, hey, um, he's getting sacks, but he's definitely making an impact, pressuring the quarterback, um, putting his arms up so that way where he's squatting the ball down, doing things to make it uncomfortable for the opposing quarterback, and doing what they need to do defensively in order to be able to get the ball back to their offense. I was a little concerned though tonight, if I want to nitpick, about third down, because I thought we made some foolish penalties, and I thought that some of those drives should have been over, and I thought those were like momentum killing. The penalties, and then also not being able to kind of stop them on third down. We were able to later get settled in, but those were some. If I'm to nitpick, those were some of the things I want them to clean up because, like Raj said, I don't. I want them to annihilate at this point. If you gonna put your foot on the gas, put it all the way on that mofo, man. At this point, don't start easing up a little bit on that gas. No, full throttle. Because though it was a 33-19 game, you could see that, hey, like it might have possibly been a 40 burger. Like you could see that there was a point in the game when the Ravens, um, and I want to give a quick shout out to John Harbaugh, because I think it was early in the game when it was like 4th and 1, and the Ravens went for it and ended up being able to convert that 4th down and later being a touchdown. Matthew, we're going to get to the Raiders definitely, but and then there was another point in the game when the Ravens were on the 4th and goal, and they thought about going for it to put the team away, but I thought that they did the right thing, kicking the field goal and going up by 21 at that point. But like I said, those are just some nitpicking things. But overall, this team had a really good game. And like I said, Matthew, we're going to talk about the Raiders.
Quick before we get to those earlier games, Ravens Dolphins this week, guys. Raj, I know you'll be there. I believe New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It is a 1 p.m. game, but the Ravens winning their number 1 seed, man.
Yeah, man, I'll be there for that game. Seems like every game right now is the most important game for the Baltimore Ravens because they had one of the craziest, 5 to 6 games that they had to play against some of these top tier teams at the end. And right now, they're showing up for all these games and they're winning them. So they have another test next week. If they can win to beat the Dolphins, they can be the number 1 seed. And I think they can pretty much clinch everything, I think, if they win next week. So it's definitely the biggest game that they need to win. I think they'll show up, of course, because they, after getting destroyed last season by this team in week 2, they got some revenge to get through. So I guarantee you they'll definitely be ready for it. As much as I'm happy that the game is at 1:00, shame on the NFL for not making this a 4:00 game, because this is a game that needs to be by itself alone, just like tonight's game against the 49ers, where you got the two best teams in the NFC and the AFC going against each other. These are the two best teams in the AFC going against each other next week. So why not put it in a prime time spot? But that's neither here nor there. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out game. It's probably going to come down to the wire. I see Tyreek Hill, doing what he usually does. Not sure if Jalen Waddle will be ready or not because he got hurt in the game against the Cowboys yesterday. But I expect the Ravens to be ready this time around for the Dolphins. But we'll see, man. We'll definitely see who's the best team in the NFL or in the AFC. But I bet my bottom dollar it'll be the Ravens at the end.
Go ahead, Jay. Real quick thoughts on the game.
Hey, like I said, I'm excited for this game. This is definitely, to me, a game you have to put your foot on the gas. We saw last year when the Ravens took on this team, started easing up on the gas. Humphreys was out, and next thing you know, we had a huge lead, and it just evaporated. So, no, go all in. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do, because Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they are problems for any opposing defense. So we have to make sure that this is a home game. We win this game, and we can't, like I said, afford to take our foot off the gas. We got to be all in, because this is fight for the number 1 seed. I'm excited to see it. And like Raj said, this should be a flex game, because when you have 2 of the top teams in the AFC going at it, and the way that both teams are playing, no, maybe even push this to a Sunday night game. I mean, this is a game of importance, and it needs to be a nationally televised game. But it's a game that I'm definitely excited for, and I'm leaning towards the Ravens to win this. But like I said, one game at a time.
Yes, preview and post game show coming later this week. We'll see what happens. And that Miami defense, pretty good as well with Jalen Ramsey and some of those guys they have on the other side. Real quick, we had some games earlier today. Had an NFL triple header along with the NBA. Usually you just have NBA on Christmas, but you had the Raiders. Matthew, we see you in the chat. Beat the Tribal Chiefs 20-14, and the Eagles beat the Giants 33-25. Dre, any thoughts from the games today, man? I know you're excited about the Raiders, man. Hopefully Antonio Pierce gets that job.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Antonio Pierce, because right now he's showing you, hey, I am going to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I want to say Oakland, but no, give that job to Antonio Pierce, because they were able to do this without really even throwing the football. I don't think they threw a pass in the first quarter alone. So um, Antonio Pierce was able to galvanize the troops. We know that he doesn't have the best quarterback, but be able to do that within that division against a division rival, the Tribal Chiefs, and
First
win
win
this
against the
football
Chiefs since
game.
2020, by the way. So first time they beat them since 2020.
See, they the Raiders played hard. They believed in themselves. They stuck in the game. And Crosby, I didn't even realize this about the history about Crosby and Mahomes, is that that HBO special with the quarterbacks. They were saying that that kind of goes back to Crosby and Mahomes kind of going back at it, saying that there was a little animosity between the two. Um, Maybe it's just a friendly competition thing, but you could just see that, like, he was going after Mahomes. This was a man on a mission tonight, and you could see, well, today rather, and you could see that, hey, the Raiders not only want to show that they want to play hard for their coach, but also to show that, hey, we're just a few pieces away from making this division not about the Chiefs, but about any, like, it could be any man's game. So um, shout out, like I said, shout out to the Raiders. Old school football, it worked, and defensively they made necessary stops within those last 2 minutes to be able to secure the football game. And then also in the Eagles and Giants game. The Eagles just, pulling out a much needed win after this slide that they had against teams like Dallas, the 49ers, and the Seahawks, but able to settle in, get a good win over a division rival, get your confidence back, and being able to move forward to the next game.
Well, Raj, your thoughts on today's early game?
I seen bits and pieces of the Raiders and Chiefs. I'm not really shocked that the Raiders won, because we already know the Chiefs are struggling offensively, and Antonio Pierce brings a new light to this Raiders team that they've been lacking for a very, very long time. So I definitely think he gets the job going forward as their head coach. He's always been one of those guys to me that seemed to be a leader. When he was on the Giants, I think Super Bowl team back in 2007, he was one of those top leaders there. So it doesn't surprise me at all that once he's a head coach, he can bring some of that leadership over to the Raiders. But yeah, man, the Chiefs, they're just awful, man, at this point. I seen the pick that Patrick Mahomes made, the pick 6, and I was just like, wow, he really doesn't have anybody to throw to besides Kelsey and maybe Rice. So yeah, man, this is their time to take a back seat and probably regroup for next season. I understand they're going to make the playoffs this year, but I don't see them winning the road game, especially if they're matched up with I guess the Dolphins or us. I think we probably will smash them at this point, but we shall see, man. The Raiders are looking really, really good. If they can get a quarterback, I think they'll be extremely good. But damn, they didn't complete a pass after the first quarter. It's crazy. That is wild, man. But shout out to the Raiders. They deserve to win. 14 points, in 7 seconds is nuts. That's crazy. I did see that as well. But he was not able to come back after that either. So it is what it is, man. But I also watched, a lot of the Eagles and Giants game. The Eagles, man, I understand they won, but man, they just make everything look so hard. They make everything hard. Like this entire season has been a struggle for them to actually blow out somebody. And this is one of those games where you thought that they was going to destroy the Giants, and they allowed the Giants to just hang around the entire game until the end. And you cannot win football games like this. And the Eagles are continuing to just get by, to be honest with you. So they're gonna have a major letdown, I believe, in the playoffs when they make it. And it just goes to show you, man, that although you made the Super Bowl last year, you brought everybody back. You're not the same team that you was last season, because at key points you make dumb decisions, and a lot of times today they made a lot of dumb decisions. So and we'll see what happens going forward, man. But it just don't look good for the Eagles, honestly.
Both teams from the Super Bowl last year looking like they are not peaking at the right time. The Chiefs' offensive line is terrible, by the way. Speaking of offensive line, I know the Ravens look good. The Chiefs' offensive line is terrible. And the Eagles' defense, I don't think they can stop a nosebleed. They had Tyrod Taylor looking like Lamar out there throwing bombs with the damn Giants. And Wink,
I thought it was Joe Flacco point too.
yeah, and Wink
Exactly.
probably get fired at the end of the year, but they were stopping them on defense. I mean, it's crazy, man. The NFL, especially divisional games, because those were two divisional games, anything can happen. And when you get to the playoffs, like I said earlier in the group chat, it's one game, anything can happen. The Eagles might win the NFC East probably, but they could get got. Saw the 49ers get got today. I mean, the Ravens, they've played down to their competition. So anything could happen. So we got to take it 1 week at a time, Ravens flock. We got to take it 1 week at a time, beat Miami, clinch home field. And maybe after that, we can have some other conversations about scenarios and things like that. But they clinched their number 1 seed. That will make things a lot more clearer and exciting in Ravens country. That's all we got, guys. Anything else, guys, before we get ready to get out of here and hit the music?
No, I want to just thank everybody for tuning in and give everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys were able to enjoy. I know we did because the Ravens won. So big trust. Thank you.
Big Raj, social media producer.
I just want to say, everybody hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We do this almost every Monday. I'm not sure if we're going to do something for day one next. Are we doing anything?
We got the college football playoffs. I'm thinking about maybe like a post game show or something, maybe, and we can talk about the Raw, because Raw be going off as well. So we'll have the college football second game probably be ending around the time we will be on here, and then the Raw day one we can talk about as well.
All right, well, so we'll be doing something for next Monday. But yeah, man, we pretty much, do content throughout the week. So just stay tuned, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We'll have something for you. Pretty sure we'll have some more Ravens coverage as well. They're definitely hitting that peak at the right time and playing some of their best football. So, but yeah, this is a very, very exciting time if you're a Ravens fan. And it's just going to get even better than what it is already, because everybody doubts us, and we come out and we just put the boots to asses, as The Rock would say. So, yeah, man, hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Check us out next week. Check us out throughout the week. We'll be back, I think, on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And just stay tuned, man.
Yes, Wednesday, AEW Dynamite. The Go Home Dynamite for World's End will be live Saturday for World's End. Big AEW pay-per-view to close out the year. We'll see how they close out 2023, which was a crazy year of professional wrestling, a crazy year of AEW. So we'll have that for you. We'll get a Ravens preview in there, Ravens post-game show on Sunday after Ravens Dolphins. And we'll have Ravens playoff post-game coverage coming to you in a few weeks, hopefully, with the bye week in between. For Dre, executive producer, our social media producer, Big Raj, God's favorite host, associate producer, as well as the Flex On Podcast, fellas, only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Make sure you guys hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We'll be live probably next Monday as well for coverage of the college football playoff, previewing the national championship, and looking back at a very stacked Raw, kind of like a pay-per-view as we get ready and be on the road to the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania 40. For Dre, Raj, everybody in chat, thank you. Have Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, first day of Kwanzaa today. Only place give you sports how you want and when you need it. The Flex Zone 1, Twitter, Instagram, Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok, and donate to that Cash App. Hashtag the Flex Zone 1. We'll see you here with more content on the Flex Zone Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, everybody. Ravens win 33-19, best record in the NFL. They win on Sunday against the Dolphins. They clinch home field in the AFC playoffs. We gone, y'all. Put the kids to bed. Peace.
Peace. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas. Live it up, baby, because the Ravens are number one. Number one. Peace.